Happy Independence Day, Nikita.
A very happy Independence Day, Miraj, and welcome to this very special episode of Tech It Out.
I've been thinking about independence and freedom. I remember when I was a child, if it rained like this, you got a day off at school, that was freedom. When you're an angst-ridden teenager, you just want to leave the house, but that is independence.
Right.
But what does it mean to us today? What does it mean to you?
I think now financial freedom is what all of us can think about.
Yeah, it is important, sure. I mean, to be a little negative, I have been thinking of being captive to technology. I know it's funny that we do a tech show, but it's becoming a bit of a crutch rather than an aid.
Well, I think we are addicted to our devices, especially the smartphone, but it goes so much more further than the individual.
You mean digital sovereignty?
Yeah. Absolutely. And in this episode, we'll take a closer look at how big tech, social media, and all the algorithms wield an enormous amount of cultural and political power.
We'll take a look at how India became one of the few countries to own its telecom network, 2G to 5G, and now 6G coming up end-to-end. And we'll also showcase some of the latest indigenous defense technology that we've developed over the past 12 months.
All this and much more coming up in this episode of Tech It Out.
For most of human history, sovereignty has meant maintaining an army, a currency, borders. But now nation states are said to be sovereign when they can control the digital infrastructure that societies run on.
Well, there's data, there's the cloud, the hardware, and finally, artificial intelligence. Digital autonomy or sovereignty has become an essential part of how we define freedom today.
For countries and for individuals. Watch this story.
6 a.m. The alarm goes off on your phone. The first message you get comes through a foreign app. The first question of the day goes to a foreign search engine, mapping the route to work, the music on the way, the advertisement that follows you there. Before you've settled down to your day at work, you've already handed over most of your day to 5 or 6 companies, none of which are in India.
We've seen markets have concentrated, markets have tipped, and there are a very small number of players who control everything that we see and do online.
India is the second largest internet market on earth. When Indian data prices collapsed in the late 2010s, hundreds of millions of people came online for the first time. And what they found there was free search, free maps, free messaging, free video. Today, the cost of using these services is becoming visible. So who owns what a billion Indians leave behind? There was no clear answer in law. Well, that changed in 2023. The DPDP Act says your personal data is yours, that a company must ask before it takes it, tell you what it's for, and then delete it when the purpose is accomplished. But the whole law rests on one word: consent. Nobody reads it, almost nobody can refuse it, because refusing usually means losing the service. There is a second front too. Where does the data physically sit? Now, the Reserve Bank of India already requires Indian payments data to be stored in India.
So a lot of compliance and regulatory frameworks have been put in place by every government. For example, European government has come with, Europe has come up with the GDPR. Our European customers' data reside on the European data centers. Similarly, we have 16 data centers worldwide. So, and everywhere it is local in the country. And same as with India, right? So whatever the Indian customers' data are actually stored in the Indian data center.
The argument is simple. A country should be able to reach its own records. The Competition Commission of India, the country's antitrust watchdog, has spent years going after the choke points. In 2022, it fined Google over its Play Store billing rules for forcing developers to use Google's own payment system and taking a cut.
Today, the most of the internet access are happening through the mobile apps. The mobile apps are today entirely controlled by the Google and Apple. You may know that the recent fight with Google was Google wants to make it mandatory that the digital services company should use Google billing payment system and pay 30% commission to Google.
But the most interesting answer India has given isn't a rule at all. It's a build. For half a century, the world ran its card transactions over 2 American networks. India built UPI, a public rail that any bank or app can plug into. And in under a decade, it's taken over retail payments in this country. The fruit seller with a QR code is not a small story, it is infrastructure that we own. On the AI front, we have Bhashini, a government effort to build translation and speech for Indian languages. It is the part of this story Silicon Valley was never going to build because there's no money in doing it. Some of it is private. Reply, a messaging app from the Indian software firm Zoho, with its data on Indian servers, surged after ministers publicly backed it. But WhatsApp has hundreds of millions of Indian users, and the graveyard of Indian challengers is not short. Downloads are easy. Staying is the hard part. And then the hardest thing of all, the chip itself. In February this year, India's first semiconductor assembly and test plant opened at Sananand in Gujarat. At Dholera, a Tata Fab is working toward the first semiconductor actually fabricated on Indian soil. The argument is moved from data to compute. The countries that control advanced chips, large-scale computing, and the frontier AI models are the ones that will set the terms, and on all three, India is still a customer.
The market itself is not going to give us Indian large language models without taking away our data to data centers which are sitting in California or in Iceland. So if we recognize that as a market failure, and if it brings in some bit of tech independence in the equation, then that market failure has to be addressed.
And finally, the bit that nobody likes saying out loud. A Swadeshi app that nobody uses is not independence. The only thing that has ever actually displaced a foreign platform in this country is an Indian one that was better to use. UPI didn't win because it was Indian. It won because it worked. Now nobody's asking for a country that logs off or has an internet that stops at the border. Nobody is asking for protectionism. Digital sovereignty is about owning and protecting digital infrastructure while staying connected to the world, while maintaining the integrity and security of citizens' data. Is that even possible? Not just India, but countries around the world are still working that one out.
Well, remember the days Mirage data was so expensive? I remember I used to switch it off.
I remember the time STD calls had to be made, and those cost an arm and a leg.
Well, that was before my time. We've gone from 2G to 3G, then 4G, 5G, and now 6G is on the cards.
Yeah, the mobile phone has become this personal sort of portable compute device. Our banking, our messaging, our friends, everything is on it. Actually, it's scary how much of our lives is on it.
Well, for better or for worse, it's changed our lives. And here's a look at how India's mobile revolution changed not just the way we connect, but the way we live.
From missed calls to video calls, from downloading a song to streamlining an entire concert, India's mobile story has changed almost as fast as the technology behind it. A country that once counted every second of a phone call now watches videos, shops, works, banks, and communicates all from a device that fits into the palm of your hand. And behind that shift is a journey from 2G to 3G, 4G, and now 5G. On this Independence Day, we trace how mobile technology changed not just the way India connects, but the way India lives. Let's rewind the tape and go back to a time when a mobile phone was still a luxury and was mostly about one thing: calling. India's first mobile phone call was made in 1995, when the launch of 2G services brought digital voice calls. SMS turned the mobile phone into a new way to communicate. Missed calls became a language of their own, and mobile phones started moving from businessmen's pockets to the hands of millions of ordinary Indians. Then, 3G or the third generation mobile services arrived in 2008, bringing faster data, video calling, and mobile internet. Suddenly, the phone was no longer just a phone, it was becoming a window to the internet. Then in 2012 came 4G mobile services, and telecommunications saw another boom. This is where India's mobile story really accelerated. 4G made high-speed mobile internet more accessible, and the smartphone started replacing a whole list of devices like camera, music player, GPS, television, and even for many people, the computer. With new players entering the market, cheaper data and aggressive pricing triggered a massive shift in how Indians used mobile internet. Data was no longer something to save, it was something to use. And that change can be seen in the numbers. As per data from Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, India had more than 1.27 billion mobile subscribers till March of 2026. Mobile data consumption has exploded from a time when a few megabytes could feel like a lot. to an India where users consume gigabytes of data every month. And this is no longer just an urban story. Mobile internet has reached deep into rural India, putting digital services, entertainment and commerce within the reach of millions who were once far less connected. So what did all that data actually change? A phone call became a WhatsApp message, a text became a voice note, and a long-distance conversation could now happen face-to-face, without either person leaving home. In terms of work, emails, video meetings, cloud apps and collaboration tools turned the smartphone into a portable office. For millions of small businesses, it also became a digital shop window. A customer could discover a product on social media, place an order on a phone, and pay for it without even entering a shop. India launched 5G services in October 2022. By the end of 2025, 5G was available in almost every district across the country, and millions of users were already using 5G networks. But 5G is not just about faster downloads. The technology is designed for lower latency, higher capacity, and a much larger number of connected devices. That opens the door to applications such as connected factories, remote healthcare, autonomous systems, smart infrastructure, and industrial IoT.
कनेक्टिविटी को आधुनिक बनाना ही होगा और इसकी बुनियाद का काम करेंगे आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का निर्माण, आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी का ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस्तेमाल। 5G टेक्नोलॉजी भी देश की गवर्नेंस में, ईज ऑफ लिविंग, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, इन अनेक विषयों में सकारात्मक बदलाव लाने वाली है।
But there is another way to look at this journey. 2G changed how India talked, 3G changed how India accessed the internet, 4G changed how India used it, and 5G is trying to change what can be connected to it. The mobile phone has gone from being a communication device to a digital identity, a bank, a marketplace, a workspace, and an entertainment screen. And the biggest change may not be the technology itself, but how quickly India has adapted to each new generation. From a single phone call to an entire digital life in your pocket, India's mobile revolution has happened in just 3 decades. And the amount of life we carry through a mobile network has grown exponentially. But the journey does not end with 5G. India is already looking ahead to 6G, with the next generation of mobile technology expected to connect far more than just smartphones.
6G, which is characterized by unprecedented speed, low latency, transformative applications, must be for all.
As AI, satellite connectivity, wearables, autonomous machines, and connected devices move closer to the network, 6G could make connectivity more intelligent, more responsive, and far more embedded in everyday life.
Bhargavastra, INS Mahendragiri, Rustom and INS Malvan. 4 systems, 4 different missions, but all built around one idea. See the threat, respond faster, and keep soldiers out of harm's way.
Globally, technology is first deployed in the defense sector. India is no different. From counter-drone systems to stealth frigates, India has made serious strides in augmenting its defense capabilities over the last 12 months. Here are the highlights.
In the last 12 months, India's defense technology has taken some big steps forward. The battlefield has changed dramatically, with machines that can see, detect, fly, track, and respond without putting a soldier directly in harm's way. Bhargavastra is taking on drone swarms in the sky. INS Mahendragiri is bringing stealth, sensors, and networked systems to the sea. Rustom is giving the forces an unmanned eye that can stay aloft for hours. And INS Malvan is designed to hunt submarines in shallow coastal waters. 4 systems, 4 different missions but one big shift. How do you stop a swarm of drones? That is where Bhargavastra comes in. India's indigenous counter-drone system is designed to detect and deal with unmanned aerial threats, including multiple drones approaching a protected area. Bhargavastra uses a network of sensors to build a real-time picture of the airspace. Its system integrates radar with electro-optical and infrared sensors along with passive radio frequency detection, so that small and low-signature drones can be detected, tracked, and identified. That information is brought together through a C4I command and control system, which helps the operators build an air picture and assign targets to the launcher. And there's a second important piece of technology here, the interceptor itself. Bhargavastra uses a layered hard-kill approach. The first layer uses unguided micro-rockets designed to deal with groups of drones, while a second layer uses guided micro-missiles for more precise engagements. But the threat is not always in the sky. Out at sea, India needs warships that can see first, hide better, and respond faster. And that brings us to INS Mahendragiri. Commissioned this year, Mahendragiri is the 6th project 17A stealth frigate to join the Indian Navy. Mahendragiri's design is intended to reduce its signature, making it harder for an adversary to detect and track. In modern naval warfare, that can be just as important as how many missiles a ship carries. And the ship has another advantage: automation. Mahendragiri uses a combined diesel or gas or CODOG, a propulsion system. It combines diesel engines for efficient cruising with gas turbines for high-speed operations, giving the frigate both endurance and speed when the mission demands it. Mahendragiri also needs to know what is happening around it.
साथियों, INS महेंद्रगिरी इस पूरी मैरीटाइम स्ट्रेटजी को और मजबूत करेगी। यह हमारे ईस्टर्न सी बोर्ड की शक्ति को यह बढ़ाएगी, हमारी ब्लू वाटर रीच को यह विस्तार देगी और इंडियन ओशन रीजन में भारत की उपस्थिति को और अधिक मजबूत बनाएगी। देवी और सज्जनों, इस शिप के पीछे हजारों इंजीनियर्स, डिजाइनर्स और वर्कर्स की वर्षों की अथक मेहनत रही है। आपने मात्र 75 मंथ्स के रिकॉर्ड टाइमलाइन में ही यह शिप हमारी नेवी को सौंप दिया है। यह अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ी बात है।
That is why the ship brings together advanced radars, electronic warfare systems, and multiple weapon systems on a single platform. It can carry BrahMos missiles for surface targets, air defense weapons, torpedoes, and anti-submarine warfare systems. But the real technological advantage is not any one of these systems, it is the way they are connected. Mahendragiri has an integrated platform management system and network-centric combat capabilities, allowing different systems on the ship to share and use information. And this is what makes it a true multi-mission warship. And that same idea, using technology to see the battlefield before the threat arrives, extends from the sea to the sky, because a warship can only see as far as its sensors allow. But what if you could keep an aircraft watching from high above for hours? Developed by the Aeronautical Development Establishment, Rustom is an indigenous family of medium-altitude, long-endurance unmanned aerial vehicles developed for the Indian Armed Forces. The idea behind Rustom is not complicated. Keep a machine in the sky for long periods, keep a close watch on the ground, and send that information back to the people who need it. But making that happen is a complex engineering challenge. The aircraft has to fly autonomously, maintain its course, carry surveillance payloads, and operate over long periods without a pilot sitting inside. And if Rustom gives India an eye in the sky, the Navy is building something very different to deal with the threats beneath the waves.
INS Malvan is a shining example of India's remarkable progress in indigenous shipbuilding. She embodies the technological competence, innovation, and dedication of our shipbuilders, designers, engineers, and industry partners.
Commissioned in July 2026 at Karwar, INS Malvan is the second Mahi-class anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft to join the Indian Navy. Built by Cochin Shipyard, the vessel has more than 80% indigenous content, a sign of how much of the technology and engineering behind India's naval capability is now being developed and integrated at home. But the real story of Malvan is what it has been built to hunt: submarines. Detecting a submarine can be extremely difficult. The water is busy, the environment is noisy, and the target is designed to stay hidden. That is why Malvan is built specifically for anti-submarine warfare.
This is the machinery control room, which is basically the engineering nerve center of our ship. Our ship INS Malvan is powered by 3 high-speed diesel engines, which provides us unmatched agility, high speeds and rapid acceleration in shallow waters, which is basically the role of the ship. So the propulsion and the auxiliary system which is fitted on board is controlled by state-of-the-art integrated platform management system, which we also call as IPMS. This digital architecture has helped our highly skilled crew to monitor all the parameters and ship's health from a single console. This is a classic example of how advancement and automation has helped reduce load on a crew while maintaining operational reliability.
The vessel combines underwater detection technology with weapons designed to respond to a subsurface threat. Its systems include a sonar suite for underwater detection, along with DRDO-developed torpedoes and RBU-6000 anti-submarine rockets. So the mission is not simply to find a submarine. It is to find it, track it, and if required, engage it. And there is another piece of technology that makes Malvan particularly suited to its role: its compact design and water jet propulsion, which help a vessel of this type operate with agility in shallow coastal waters.
Well, so that's a wrap. Any closing thoughts on this episode and on Independence Day?
Well, I think, Miraj, as Indians, one is very proud for what tech has done for our country, has really empowered its defense forces. But as an individual, I think I want to go a day without using my smartphone very easily and not be so dependent on it. What about you?
Well, I mean, I hear you. In fact, we are doing this series. It's called Big Tech Real Cost. It's about big tech and how powerful it's become and how sort of enslaved we've become by technology. And I keep coming back to the same thought that how much it's influencing us these days, our economy, our politics, even how we think. I don't want to be that person. So my resolution this Independence Day is to use my phone, to use technology, but not let it change me and to not be influenced by it. And I'm going to leave all of you with that thought.
From all of us at WION, a very happy Independence Day. See you next week.
Bye-bye.